Welcome to Story Kids!
Welcome to our cozy Storytime channel. Let's start our magical bedtime story. Are you ready for an adventure?
Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there lived a young princess named Alara. Now, Princess Alara was known throughout the land for her kindness and her beautiful singing voice. But she had one big problem. Every night before she went to sleep, she would have these terrible nightmares. These nightmares were so scary that they would wake her up in the middle of the night. And then she wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. One day, the princess's royal advisor heard about these nightmares and he became very worried. He knew that if the princess didn't get some good rest, she might get sick. So the royal advisor decided to do something about it. He went to the king and told him to take a day off from his busy royal schedule and to spend the day with their daughter. The king was very happy to hear this idea, and so he spent the entire day playing with Alara and trying to cheer her up. As the evening came, the king went to the princess's room to tuck her in for bed. He asked her, "My darling Alara, why are you still awake? It's time for bed." And Alara replied, "I'm too scared to go to sleep, Papa. You see, every night when I close my eyes, I have these horrible nightmares, and they just won't stop." Hearing this, the king felt sad. He didn't want his little girl to be afraid of the dark or going to sleep. So he said, "Don't worry, my love. I'll stay with you all night if that will make you feel better." And Alara said, "Oh, thank you, Papa. That would make me very happy." So the king stayed with his daughter all night, and guess what? Alara slept like an angel all night long and didn't have a single nightmare. The next day, the princess told her royal advisor that she had slept very well. She was so happy that her nightmare had finally stopped. Meanwhile, the king was very worried because he hadn't slept at all during the night. He had stayed awake the whole night with Alara, and now his eyes were droopy and he could barely keep them open. The royal advisor noticed that the king was very tired, so he said, "Your Majesty, why don't you take a break and let the soldiers take over your shift? You can go home and get some rest." But the king replied, No, I must stay awake. You see, last night I made a promise to Princess Alara that I would stay with her all night, and I must keep my promise." The advisor shook his head and smiled, because he knew the king would never admit that he wanted to take a nap. So he said, "Very well, Your Majesty, but please be careful not to fall asleep on duty." After the royal advisor left, the king leaned against the wall and closed his eyes for just a tiny nap. But unfortunately, he fell fast asleep. Just then, a sneaky soldier came up to him and said, "Wake up, Your Majesty. We have a visitor." The king opened his eyes and asked, "A visitor? Who is it?" The soldier replied, "I don't know, Your Majesty. All I know is that she says she's here to see the king." The king got up and followed the soldier to meet the mysterious visitor. When he saw who it was, his face lit up with joy. It was the princess, and she wasn't alone. With her was a beautiful woman who had a magic lantern in her hands. The princess said, "Father, this kind lady helped me stop having nightmares, and now I can sleep very well. So I brought her here to thank you." The king was very grateful to the mysterious woman, so he asked, "Is there anything I can do for you?" The woman replied, "All I ask is that you grant me one wish." The king was very happy to hear this. He thought for a moment and said, "Well, then I wish for you to be my daughter's godmother." And so the magic lantern became Princess Alera's godmother.
Thank you for watching, little dreamers. We hope you love the story as much as we loved sharing it with you. If you enjoyed the adventure, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a magical bedtime story. And leave a comment to tell us what your favorite part was. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you next time for another magical tale. Good night.